Let's move on to Python syntax. So what does syntax mean? Well, syntax describes the precise set of rules that define valid code. So when you write Python code, you have to follow specific rules. If you don't follow these rules, then your code will not run. You will get a syntax error. So syntax doesn't provide any details on the actual meaning of the code. That's that language reference. The syntax just says, is this code valid? Can it run at all or not? Okay, so that is what syntax is, and we'll see some examples of some bad syntax down below. If you do break these rules, you will get a syntax error. And we will be covering a lot of the syntax in the modules as needed. So whenever it appears, we're not going to cover all of the syntax here. We're just going to cover a few examples in this section. All right, so we've learned how to create variables using the assignment statement. So we can correctly create a variable here. Make sure that's a code cell. So we assign the value of 5 to A like this. Now, if you try to make an assignment the other way and put the variable name on the right-hand side, you will get an error. So this is a syntax error. You can't use 10. It's really what Python is trying to do here is use 10 as a variable name. Well, that is not possible. Variable names cannot begin with numbers. Okay, so that is one example. Operators with multiple characters must appear next to one another. So we learned about, say, the greater than or equal to operator. So we say 6 is greater than or equal to 3. That is correct syntax. But if you write 6 greater than space equal to and then 3, you will get a syntax error. Python will think you're trying to do a greater than, and it needs to be greater than some other number. But you can't just say greater than and then greater than an equal sign or an assignment statement. That doesn't make any sense. So that is a syntax error. Here's going to be an example with parentheses. So we use parentheses to change the order of execution of operations. So here we have, like, say 10 minus 3 times 9. So that is correct, and make sure it does the 10 minus 3 part first and then multiplication. Now, if you forget a parentheses, I'm just going to copy and paste this like this. I don't have a closing parentheses, then you will get a syntax error. You can't do parentheses in the wrong direction like this. You can't have a closing parentheses and then an opening parentheses. They have to come opening first followed by closing, and that will get a syntax error as well. So these are just a few of the examples that will be covered in the modules upcoming. So that's just what it means, is that when you have a syntax error, you haven't even formatted your statement correctly to even be attempted to be interpreted.